Good morning.
Morning of day 6. We have just broken camp at the Bailey Bridge campsite here along the Bella Coola River. And then we've done one lap up the river where we've been seeing bears so far this trip. And we did see one grizzly, but there was another group photographing them there this morning, so we've opted to just do our one pass and head out. So we are now heading back out of the valley, up the big hill, and our destination for this evening is Tatlioka Lake. Stopped here at the brake check at the top of the hill. We reset our fuel economy just a little ways into the hill, and right now it is reading 31.3. I had it all the way up to 52.2 at spots while we were climbing, so it's good that it was a short section because we sure wouldn't have gone very far. Filled up in Tatla Lake, gas station and cool general store, convenience store there, and we are now back on dirt roads and heading towards Tatlioka Lake. We're now at Tatlioka Lake. We found a forestry wreck site and we dropped the trailer at a very nice spot. So we are now just exploring the road that parallels the length of the lake. Back to the wreck site after exploring down the length of Tatlioka Lake. On our driveway, we saw a beautiful view of the lake from the southern end, looking north, and you could see its bright blue color, and then the stunning mountain ranges in the background. And then also to our east, we could see the Potato Ranges, which are a neat looking set of mountain ranges, so it's pretty cool side trip. Now just back to camp for a campfire and just settle in for the evening and enjoy the beautiful spot. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning of day 7, and we have just packed up and left Tatlioka Lake. We have left fairly early this morning. We got up and watched the sunrise over the mountains across the lake from us.
Which was really beautiful.
And it's now 8:30 and we are on the road. I think now we're going to be heading to Chilcotin Lake So we made it to Chilco Lake. We went to the first camp spot, which is on the northernmost tip of the lake. And it is closed due to bears. And so there's even a sign posted that says bears only beyond this point, which is kind of cool. And so we had to jackknife the trailer on a narrow road just to get it turned around. And now we are slowly making our way out of that wreck site, and we'll be kind of going along the east side of the lake down to another wreck site, which we believe is going to be open. Driving south down Chilco Lake. We're on a road that's taken us through some ranch lands and some resorts. We're now in the provincial park on what Backroads Mapbooks has as a bit of a goat trail. It doesn't look like it's accessible for ATVs or motorbikes, but they do allow you to use it to travel through with a motorized vehicle, so it's kind of a neat experience to be on here. And we're getting close to seeing Chilco Lake again. Got out of the goat trail and we're back onto main roads. That probably took us 2 or more hours. I wasn't even really paying attention. It probably even
4 hours.
What's that?
3 or 4.
3 or 4 hours maybe. It was slow going, especially with the trailer just bouncing everywhere. It's rough. Even if we didn't have the trailer, it's still not much faster. But we've made it out now. The roads are much better, and it's just a matter of finding the campsite. back on paved roads. We met up here with Highway 20 at Lee's Corner, and we are currently making our way east towards Williams Lake. We are just leaving Williams Lake now. We stopped there just to Canadian Tire briefly and to do some other shopping. But now back on the highway heading south into 100 Mile House. Well, we've been on the road a few more hours than expected this afternoon, but we are just about to turn back onto dirt and make our way to Big Bar Lake. We just stopped at Mount Begbie Fire Lookout, which is a cool little fire lookout, probably 5 or 10 minutes just off the main road. So it was a well worth it stop.
And for lunch and dinner, or a combination of both, we decided we would stop in 100 Mile House. There's a cool burger joint there called Gourmet Burger Rednecks, and they have these awesome burgers and a bunch of different flavors of poutine. So we figured we'd give it a shot, and they were delicious. So we would definitely recommend trying it if you're passing through 100 Mile House.
Definitely, and yeah, we used that opportunity to fill up with fuel at the same time. So it worked out well. Last full day on the road, day 9. Last night we camped at Big Bar Lake, and we do plan on camping there again tonight. So this is just a day trip from there as our base camp. We're going to head up Jesmond Lookout first, and then we're going to go across the Big Bar Ferry and just check out the other side. We don't know exactly how far we're going to get. This morning we popped up Jesmond Lookout, which is a beautiful drive up to the lookout. Then we continued on to Big Bar Ferry once we were done with that, which is through some beautiful ranch lands. And we some cows on the side of the road. And so we came across the ferry, and then we were poking around on this side heading towards China Head Mountain, which is something that I've always wanted to try. There's a single road across the top. I believe it even follows a ridge line, but otherwise it's a restricted motorized use on that mountain. Poison Mountain's also in the area, which I have been to the top of on previous trips, but again, it would have been a cool side trip. But because there's a lot of construction here on the west side of the Fraser River due to a landslide just kind of north of the Big Bar Ferry, they warned us that there can be quite a few sailing waits with once the cruise finish for the day and go home. So we're actually trying to make some quick time to head back to the ferry to beat that rush. morning of day 10. This will be our last day on the road. We will be making it home by this evening. Last night we stayed a second night at Big Bar Lake. It rained a little in the evening, and today's a little bit gloomier, but luckily it didn't rain all night, which is kind of nice. It allowed for our stuff to dry out just slightly. Off to home. We just did some quick math, and it's been about 2,600 kilometers by the time we get home, a little over. And yeah, that was 9 nights. And what did you think of the trip, Liz?
It was good, lots of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Saw a lot of areas that we hadn't seen before. Spent a lot of time on dirt. I would say, a good portion of that total kilometers were spent on dirt and back roads, which is kind of cool. And a lot of places I'd love to spend some more time in the future. Thanks everyone for watching.